Can everyone hear me? Okay, I'll try to just speak loudly. Oh, it's working.
Good afternoon. We're going to go ahead and start the meeting. The chairperson is running a little late and the traffic is really bad out there. That's why I'm just getting here myself. And so we're going to go ahead and begin our meeting. Do we have anyone that signed up for public speaking? Roll call first, okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and have the roll call. Thank you. Oh, Jessica.
Hey, good afternoon. Today is January 28th, 2026. The time is 4:34 p.m. Carla Gargiolo is absent. Joanne Harris,
Present.
Josie Martinez,
Present.
Andrea Sanchez Muniz is absent. Mary Ann Valdez Hernandez is absent. Fernanda Cardenas,
Present.
Michelle Doublis Robedo,
Present.
Bert Quintanilla,
Present.
Beth Graham,
Here.
Judy Cruz,
Present.
Jaspreet Kaur is absent. A quorum is present.
Thank you, Jessica. Could we please have a silent moment of meditation, prayer, or whatever you choose at this time? That's what we'll have. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
It was my head.
You didn't have to tell them. Right?
Okay, good afternoon. I apologize for being tardy, and I was wondering why it was so quiet in here when I walked in. I was like, did something happen? Silent meditation will do it. Have we done the roll call yet?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So next we'll move into an approval of minutes. And the approval of minutes have been sent to you ahead of time. They're also in your draft minutes agenda packet. And they're also available on the iPad, which I'll mention after the approval of minutes. I'll talk a little bit more about that. So I will entertain a motion for approval of the minutes from the December 3rd board meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
And that second, I think it was Beth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And you can do a roll call vote for us, Jessica?
Carla Gargiolo is absent. Joanne Harris,
Present.
yay or nay?
Approval of minutes.
Oh, I thought she asked for if I was present.
Approval for the minutes.
The
Nay,
Yes.
yay.
Okay, so I'm so sorry.
Joanne Harris is a yay. Josie Martinez.
That's right.
Andrea Sanchez Muniz is absent. Mary Ann Valdez Hernandez is absent. Fernanda Cardenas.
Yay.
Michelle Doublis Robedo.
Yay.
Bert Quintanilla.
Yay.
Beth Graham.
Aye.
Judy Cruz.
Yay.
Jaspreet Kaur.
Yay.
The motion passes.
Thank you. And did we have any public comments? Okay, thank you. Okay, next we'll start with a report from the board chair. And prior to giving my report, I did want to share that in a move to reduce the amount of paper that we're utilizing in preparation for the board meetings, we do have iPads now available at each of your places. There is a card that tells you what the passcode is for the device, and unfortunately, we can't get around that because of ITSD rules. But I do encourage all of you, just like the board packet is sent via email ahead of time, I do encourage you to really reflect upon what aspects of the board packet you utilize in a paper format and what can be converted to being completely digital, because we've actually been talking about this for several years now, just like to be able to reduce the need for that paper requirement is the primary motivation for that. So I wanted to mention that. And then also a brief update. I attended the 20th anniversary of the Semmes Branch Library and delivered remarks there as part of the speaking ceremony, which was wonderful. I also attended the League of Women Voters. They had a San Antonio Speaker Series. It's an organization that I'm just learning more about, and it was really fantastic how activated that group is. Very, very informed group of citizens, and truly a great synergy opportunity there as well. I had the opportunity to hear our director speak, and so that was my interest in going, but definitely an organization that I'll want to share more information about as I learn more about them. And then I also had an opportunity to meet with some of our stakeholders. I had coffee with our friends at the foundation, with the staff that was in, and that was really great. But I wanted to also mention that during this time of year, there's a lot of turmoil and a lot of communities that are really hurting. And
so lovely and so beautiful. One of the ones that really stood out for me was one called Arches of San Jose, and it's got the lovely arches that are that you will see at Mission San Jose, which is our neighbor there. And what I love is that there's several photos of that, or several paintings of that, sketches of that, and that, of course, those arches influenced the architecture for the patio area outside at Mission Library. So it was just all coming together for me there. It's beautiful. I made it over to Central Library because I was kind of in the mood for art this month. And I was able to look at the Beyond the Books exhibit, which was so marvelous also. Artwork and other types of art expression by the staff members. All of them just blew me away. So emotional for me in many, many ways because it just touched my heart and touched my soul. I loved Haley's Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, the little doll. I've got to ask her, how in the world did you do that? It's just lovely, lovely. Another one I loved them all. They all touched me, but these especially. Ana Sandoval had an embroidered piece, and it just brought back so many memories because I learned to embroider at the hand of my grandmother. And I just haven't done it in a long time, but I really think I need to get back to that. It touched me very much. And then probably the one that really almost brought me to tears was Dale's sketches, the watercolors of the disappearing homes, because it was like looking at a photo of my grandparents' home out in the country, and the water cooler in the window and the asbestos siding. I could have walked into that door and felt the presence of my grandparents there. So kudos, Dale, just gorgeous, gorgeous. Later on, I came back to Central Library because I wanted to check out that Southern Underground Railroad exhibit. Fascinating. I learned everything that I read was new to me. It's the story of how black women found ways to resist their bondage and to fight for freedom in those years of 1838 to 1860. And those stories need to be told and retold and retold, because if they're new to me, they're new to so many other people as well. I spent a long time there. It's just 6 panels, I think, but it's chock full of so much information. It's so deep, and the writing, it's a little, it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of academic in a way, but it's just so rich. The narrative is so rich that you just have to spend time going over it, and I did. I read it and reread it and reread it, and every time I went for the reread, I learned something new. That's what I did.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Fernanda Cardenas, and I represent District 6 area. So first, I'd like to thank the San Antonio Public Library for opening their doors, especially during this winter, to those that need heating and need warmth for this icy weather that apparently we're going to have again this weekend. And also, this couple of weeks ago, I did attend the Central Library and use their meeting space. So highly encouraging. I belong to a lot of nonprofits, and kind of marketing the library to use all of the meeting rooms that are there available. Sometimes people forget that the meeting rooms are there and available, and they go to coffee shops or somewhere else, and for them to encourage them to go visit their library and have their meeting space there. But also speaking to the constituents, especially the constituent District 6 and our older adults, this is the place where they come and get their information. This is the place where they gather and they instill that love of reading to their grandchildren. So knowing the importance of libraries and how that is pretty much passed down from generation to generation, the love of books, the love of reading, is so essential. So thank you to the San Antonio Public Library for also having programming for our older adults and making them feel inclusive. So thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Harris?
Okay. Well, I was able to go and visit all 3 of the libraries during our time, and I was able to meet with a couple of the branch director managers. I attended the Las Palmas reopening, which was wonderful. And I also attended the Sims 20th anniversary, which was just beautiful because it was outdoors and it was just absolutely beautiful. And I was able to do one of the virtual presentations, not class, presentation that they had on the Nuremberg trial. And I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly who sponsored it because they also did, but it was outstanding. It was outstanding. It was presented, through the library system, and I was very proud of that. Upcoming things on February the 14th, during Black History Month, the Friends of the Carver Branch Library and the Carver Branch will be hosting a breakfast at 10 o'clock in the morning, and they will have the San Antonio Express journalist Gary Clack will be the presenter, and he's very outstanding in the community and things like that. And if you have time, please try to come by on Valentine's Day at 10 o'clock in the morning. Thank you.
I'm Beth Graham, and I represent District 10 on the Library Board of Trustees. I also attended the Las Palmas grand reopening, and again, congratulations to everyone. That was such an outstanding event. It was easy to see that the community was thrilled to have their library back and so upgraded and beautiful. I attended the Sims 20th anniversary and was honored to be asked to make some remarks at that event, and thank the staff for providing those remarks and doing an excellent job on that. Attended the Facilities Committee meeting, and I've been sort of incognito. I've been volunteering at the bookseller, and I attended the bookseller's volunteer holiday luncheon a couple of weeks ago, and that was really wonderful. I was happy to be able to take advantage of the SAPL holiday gift cards and gave some of those to family members who keep saying they're going to get a library card, and now they have one and they just have to go in and tell the staff that they've got it. I want to thank San Antonio Public Library for serving as community warming centers over this past week. The services that we are able to offer people who would not be able to find those anywhere else are so important. And I also want to thank the staff, and especially Jessica, for keeping us so updated on that. Thank you. Your reports were really appreciated. Josie, I also stopped by Central to see the staff exhibit, and oh my goodness, if you haven't been, go take a look at it. You kind of wonder why these people aren't off being artists, although I'm glad that we have them at the library. So do please take a look at that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would also like to echo the fact that we are very lucky to have the San Antonio Library as a warming center, because I know many took advantage of that, and I mean, the cold is brutal. But I also want to talk about Las Palmas. It was an amazing show of community. Everybody was very excited to have that library back. It's beautiful. I was able to I attended the session with Carmen Tafoya, who grew up right down the street from there. I was able to take my mom, who also grew up right down the street from there. So between Las Palmas and Bazan, those were the libraries that my grandmother used to take me to in the summers. So seeing it so updated was just so nice for my mom. And then Carmen Tafoya, hearing her stories on what inspired her to write, which was just that community, was just really amazing. So congratulations. Thank you for everybody for pushing that library to open. It was really nice. And then I was also able to attend the opening of the Holocaust Learn and Remember. which was also very, very interesting. It was a packed house. It was, they had to bring in more chairs because there wasn't enough chairs for people to sit. But along with the JCC, it was a very, very interesting session about the forced labor camps in Greece. And it was just uncovered by Andres Asal about 20 or so years ago. And he uncovered it by buying some photos at a flea market, which was really interesting. He's since written a book. He's done all this research, and it's in Greek, so can't wait for it to be translated to English, because I bet you it's going to be interesting. But I also think it was a packed house because of the political climate that we're in right now, and I think a lot of people are really tuning in to what happened during the Holocaust because we are really trying to not let that happen again. But overall, it was an amazing series. I happen to know Jerome Cohen, who is a descendant of one of the survivors. I had no idea. So seeing him on stage being interviewed was like, oh, wow, did not know that. So overall, great session with the JCC.
That's fantastic. Thank you. It was disappointing that due to the icy road conditions, the closing ceremony had to be canceled. But I'm glad trustees and members of the community were able to attend. And we are just wrapping up trustee reports, Carla, as you're getting situated. So if you'd like to share anything, you can.
I didn't make it anywhere this month. We were homesick with the flu half of January, so. Yeah.
That is a valid reason. Okay. Very good. So with that, we'll conclude and pass over to the director for the director's report.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Jaspreet. Good evening, everyone. I would like to start with giving a shout out to all of our library staff members who were so dedicated and who worked in this winter storm on Sunday and on Monday. You know, thank you. And our staff is the reason we were able to support the city in providing these essential services to our community. So thank you again. You know, our library team stayed in contact throughout this weekend to monitor the weather while library operations, and we responded wherever it was needed. Our facility team, again, kudos to you all for helping a few of the branches who were having issues with the heating system and all those. So everything was under control. A couple branches had some small issues. They were addressed right away. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We have an amazing team. And our assistant city manager, David McCary, was able to visit 15 of our branches on Sunday. He went himself to each of those branches to say thanks to our staff and appreciate how they were all doing. So thank you, David. And I tried to, I'm like, you know, maybe I should match David, or maybe I should beat David's record. So I attempted and I failed on Sunday, but I made it up on Mondays because I was also able to attend and visit each of our branch that was providing essential service and show our staff that how much we all appreciate it and appreciate what they were doing. I continue to be proud of the community support of the libraries as demonstrated by the large turnout at our celebrations. So the 20th anniversary of our Sims Branch Library, as like many of our Board of Trustees acknowledged, it was a fantastic event. Our trustee, Beth Graham, gave remarkable remarks. Jaspreet Kaur, our board chair, also spoke really, really well. Our council member, Mark White, also spoke very well, and he acknowledged like how crucial the libraries are and what services we are providing in the community. And of course, Mr. McCary's speech was always, it's like just so amazing to hear Mr. McCary's comments, so thank you. Also, as few of the trustees mentioned, we marked our 14th anniversary of our partnership with Holocaust Memorial Museum of San Antonio to bring the Holocaust Learn and Remember series to our community. I was proud to join the speaking program as we kicked off the series on January 8th at the Central Library. Our community continues to turn out for the program series. I attended an event with Eva Balcazar, who is a 95 years old survivor of Holocaust, and where she shared her story at Parman Branch. We had a full house. We had people waiting outside the room just to get a glimpse of her, just to listen like what she had to say. And we had to send at least 50 people back because we could not accommodate them. So after seeing all that, the museum, and thanks to Eva, they actually scheduled a second series so she can, again, like people who wants to really hear her, so they get a chance. But sadly, we had to postpone that because of this winter storm. But we'll be working with museum to give our community another chance so they can come out and hear her. On December 15th, I appointed Matthew Loiza as interim public services administrator to provide leadership at the branch services level while we have a PSA out on short-term leave. Matthew continues to support as the branch manager for the Landa Branch Library during this interim appointment. And I'm mentioning that also, so we had at one library, we had just we were not able to open, or we didn't have full staff on Sunday. Matthew volunteered to be the first one to get there, and that library we were able to open at 10 a.m. on Sunday. So kudos to Matthew and kudos to his dedication.
Like they're trending up, down, staying the same. I understand at a system level, we see that view. Is that a question that can be answered now?
Dale, would we be able to provide that information, or would we be able to provide that information in our next meeting?
Is that a question for Randall, or? Okay.
Yeah, so we definitely can provide door counts by location, over time. Like Randall and I can look at like the best way to report that. We can provide that next month easily.
Okay, and yeah, we don't have to wait till the next board meeting. You can provide it when available. But just to be a little more specific, not just door count, but in program attendance is what I was curious about. And I can see the increase for the system-wide, but I would like to know.
So we do typically see a lot of engagement with Holocaust Learn and Remember programming materials in January, so that's likely the cause of the big spike that you're seeing from FY25 there.
Yep.
And then in May is when we typically launch Summer with SAPL, which also gets a fairly significant reaction from our community, yeah.
Yeah,
so those are
fantastic.
probably the reason driving those two spikes there in that report.
Yeah, that's great. I think it would be great to just have like a, from time to time, here's a top 3 type of thing. That would be fun.
We can do that.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
That's all my questions. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the budget report. Bless you.
Hi, good afternoon, board members and board chair. Gabriela Rauschuber, I'm the department fiscal administrator. Today I'm going to give you a brief overview of the library's budget report as of the end of December. So 25% of the fiscal year had elapsed, and we were at 27% spent, which includes encumbrances, or 25% without them. So overall, we are in line with spending for the first quarter of the fiscal year. By category, you'll see contractual services category is ahead of plan at 44%. This is mainly due to the large encumbrances in building maintenance and contractual services. And then actuals are going to be ahead of plan mainly due to the annual payments that are made upfront at the beginning of the year for computer service maintenance and subscription to computer services. The other expenditure category is below plan at 22%. This is mainly due to electricity and water. For these expenses, I'm seeing them coming in slightly less than last fiscal year. So that's just the first 3 months of the fiscal year. We are seeing it come in less. The capital outlay category is also below plan at 21% spent, and this is going to be due to the additional planning that it takes to get the items ordered, spec'd out, ordered, delivered to the locations. And we're also working with ITSD to place the order for the PC and the mobile device replacement. So that takes quite a bit of coordination with that department. That completes my report, but if y'all have any specific questions, I can take them.
Any questions?
May I ask a question?
Sure.
When you just mentioned, it sounds like you're going to be switching out on electronic gear. Is that right? Did I get that right?
Under our capital outlay, we have a replacement program.
Replacement, there you go.
Yes, replacement.
Does the city assist in the recycling of that equipment? And
Yes.
is there any rebate?
The department ITSD handles taking the old ones and doing the.
Next is a report from the Executive Committee, and the Executive Committee did meet on January 20th, 2026, to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting. And next, a report from the Advocacy Committee.
We did not meet.
Thank you. A report from the Budget Committee.
We did not meet.
Thank you. And then a report from the Facilities Committee. Facilities Committee Chair Andrea Sanchez Muniz is not here, but I understand Mark is going to give us a report.
Good afternoon, Board Chair, Board members, and Director. My name is Mark Lysell, Project Control Manager for the library, and I'm here to give you an update from the Facilities Committee meeting, which we that we'll discuss, and then we brought some project updates to go over, and there is also the board packet. The construction update is in your board packet. And before I start on the Facilities Committee report, I do want to real quickly introduce Richard Cotton. He's with the Department of Capital Delivery Department, so he's helps us out with all of our bond projects. So. The first one, as the director had mentioned, the Landa project, we closed that project on Monday, and we're making repairs to the HVAC units in there. We've been having a lot of coordination with movers, and we've removed the art from the building, and we've got that in secure storage. So it's been a real busy few days. We did have a glitch on Monday because we obviously canceled construction activities for Monday because that was not a good day to be going in and out of buildings. So we're doing a little catch up on that, but that's moving along pretty quickly. As you can see, the timeline, we closed on the 28th. Interim service started this morning, so we'll be moving forward, and we're looking to be reopened before May 1st. The next project is the Carver Branch Library. So this is the $12.5 million bond project. Phase one involves a 2,600 square foot expansion, and it was a very exciting last couple weeks because we are in the phase where we have actually poured the concrete now for the new addition. So we have a 2,000 square foot slab out there that they'll be able to start building walls on soon once they get the steel in. So we're moving forward on that. That project's coming along on schedule. So real excited about that. Next project is another exciting project, is our Texana project. So this is up at Central Library on the 6th floor. Improvements to the 16,000 square foot space. We are in construction, post-construction, because we've actually started moving things back up into the building, library materials, that is. We've got shelving coming in, and our Texana staff has been loading some of the microfilm drawers back up again, so that's starting to look like a space again. Here's a couple of finished photos of the Kelleher Family Foundation classroom and the new Collaborate space. And then the other project we have going on is the Johnston Branch Library. This is one, we are not going to close the project, close the library, but this is when we have to renovate the restrooms because they're out of ADA compliance. So we're going to start the work on March 5th or March 4th, right after voting is complete. We will block off the interior bathrooms. We'll provide porta potties outside the building for public to use. The staff restroom will still be available for staff to use. And then we're looking to this project to be complete in 10 to 12 weeks. And then that completes my report unless anyone has any questions.
Yes, I have a question.
Sure.
Well, actually, let me see first. Trustees have any questions for Mark?
With regard to Landa, we have had, it seems, constant problems with the AC, the HVAC in that building. And I know it's an old building and it's had to be retrofitted. And do we think that this closure is going to take care of that?
That is what we're looking at. Yes. Our engineers have been working on it. We've got the consultants going forward, and the contractors are in place. So we're going to be watching every piece of it. Yes.
And thank you for being careful with the furnishings and art that's in the building. 'Cause
We're
that's,
obviously being very careful with
Yeah.
that. Yes. Yep.
What's the expected closure for Landa Branch Library?
10 to 12 weeks, I believe it is. Yeah,
10 to
because
12.
we're planning on being open before May 1st for any May Day activities that the LGC may have.
And that's the same amount of time for Johnston also?
Johnston will be open before May 15th because May 18th.
Opening date.
We,
Opening date.
we are looking at basically spring, summer, sometime, June, July, August, maybe sooner. We're moving things in as quickly as we can. So we're hoping to have something in the next month or two to really start putting some solid dates to
Okay.
when we're going to be finishing up. So
Yeah, I think it would be important for the community to know when that space is going to be reopened, now that you're starting to move things back in.
yes, we have biweekly meetings with staff, and we're going over every aspect of it and what we can do to speed things up.
I'll let Dale.
Okay, thank you.
The committee met on January 7th. Thanks to Spreet for attending. And we certainly, Fernanda, our thoughts were with you during that meeting. So we had a productive conversation about naming. We don't have a draft for you this month, but we're continuing to work on the naming policy and incorporating the feedback from that meeting.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Dale? The next item is a report from the ad hoc ILA committee, and our committee did meet on January 20th. There were no noteworthy updates to share. Next is a report from the San Antonio Public Library Foundation.
Good evening. In January, we welcomed 2 new board members to our board of directors, one from Southwest Research. I believe I mentioned her previously. She's a corporate librarian. So now we have a librarian that's in charge of the St. Mary's Law School Library and a corporate librarian. So we're trying to find every kind of librarian that there is. And then the other one is from SWBC. So we're super excited to have them on board. They're both very engaged. We have just kicked off Over the Edge registrations. So just as a reminder, that is our urban rappelling event, which is our biggest fundraiser for this year. We're alternating that every other year with Katrina Ball. So we will get those rappellers signed up and our sponsors very quickly. Mr. McCary was one of the first. Where'd he go? Mr. McCary was one of the first.
He's getting his gear together.
Yeah, that's right. He's on his way to the Thompson. He's walking. So Mr. McCary was one of the first to sign up when we kicked off, so I didn't even have to twist his arm this year, so that's exciting. He'll be going down in the first rappel spot with one of our co-chairs this year. Our co-chairs are 2 of our board members, Will Wilkins from Valero and Gwen Graham and her husband. So they are out there in the community already and soliciting sponsors for this really exciting event. If you were not there last year, definitely make plans May 16th at the Thompson Hotel to come out there. You can rappel or you can just watch. And if you want to talk to someone about how much fun it is, Scott did it last time. Haley also did it, and I think they had a great time, and hopefully we'll be signing up. Oh, there he is. My favorite rappeller signed up to go over the edge. So Broadway Bank and the Cheever family, again this year, have committed to sponsoring veterans to go over the edge. We did that the last time. The Cheever family and Broadway Bank together sponsored about 15 veterans to go over. We actually had a couple fly in from South Dakota, both Vietnam veterans, who kicked off the veterans that were rappelling on the Broadway Bank rope. So we were going in descending age. And then we ended up with a couple of active duty folks. So that was a really fun for all of us, and they are going to do that again. Sukrit, are you going to go over the edge? Not to put you on the spot in front of everyone, but there is a spot. $1,500 qualifies you for a rappel spot, so library staff can all donate for Sukrit to go over the edge. I did pre-register him, so somebody needs to just email me, and we'll get that going. I'll give somebody access to his account.
Thanks, Amy.
You're welcome. Anytime. You said anything for the library, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just secured our second gift for the African American Resource Center at Carver, $100,000 from the Santikos pot of money at the San Antonio Area Foundation. So that brings us to $150,000 for the African American Resource Center. And really, we haven't even officially kicked off the capital campaign, so there's a lot of interest in this, and I think that it will be really great once we get there. As I mentioned before, we already have a $100,000 commitment for the tween space, so we do expect very soon to get the positive answer from Valero about Learn at SAPL at Carver. So everyone that we've talked to is super interested in Carver, and we look for that to continue. So we are again very excited. We're just very excited about everything. You will, if you're over in the Landa Park area, you may notice in the next few weeks some changes to our backyard area. We continue to suffer from a significant amount of vandalism from the kids who are playing in the park. This has been going on the entire 6 years that I've been director of the foundation. We've had to replace all of our storage building windows with plexiglass because they get broken so often, sticks in the lock, broken off in the locks, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to put a gate across and just make it a little bit visually more like, please don't leave your kids unsupervised in our yard, because we really do not want anyone to get hurt specifically. So part of my job is reducing risk for the foundation, and that's what we're trying to do. Bert, did you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. When you said Landa Park, you're talking about the little playground adjacent to the Landa Library?
Yes, because our office our property abuts that property.
And have you, by some odd chance, interfaced with the San Antonio Police Department, San Antonio Fear-Free Environment Officers, SAFE? There's sort of the community outreach guys for SAPD. They might be able to help with patrols, because I don't know when the vandalism is happening, but it breaks
In the
my heart
middle
to
of
hear
the
about it.
day, we had an incident a few Saturdays ago when Jessica called me and said, one of your doors is standing open. A group of roving, like 7-year-old boys had banged on the door until it jiggled loose and set off the alarm, and it was a whole thing. So it's happening in the middle of the day. It's not a nighttime thing. But we absolutely, several years ago, we did contact them, and we can certainly do that again. But I do think most of the issue circles around people not watching their children. Yep. So as we create a little bit of a visual barrier, we're hoping this is escalation number 2. We're hoping that we don't have to escalate
And
any
thanks
further.
for teasing out those details. The only reason I bring it up is because in D9 in our area, HOA problems, anything like that, we go to the SAFE officer and work hand in glove with those guys to try to figure out how to discourage, through presence, these type of activities.
Yeah, we can absolutely revisit that.
Yeah. I think you're taking the right tactic to do a little bit of a visual display because it is hard to really discern like where it ends, and then it's very inviting, that little storage area. It just seems like something fun's happening in there.
Yes.
Because of all the glass windows. So I think it's a great thing.
Yes, as one of my attorneys said, that's like the visual representation of an attractive nuisance.
Yes, yeah, it is. Thank you. Thank you. Is that the end of your update?
No.
Thank you, Amy. Very exciting to hear about all of the great gifts that you're teeing up for us for capital campaigns. Next, we have a report from the Friends of the San Antonio Public Library.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I've just got a real short report this time, and I'm kicking off 2026 as I did 2025 with different meetings, library celebrations, and I am really excited, and Josie knows how excited I am, that we are going to have a Friends group at Pan American Library that has taken some doing, but we have some dynamic people that are going to take that over. On top of that, their book sales are bringing, not book sales, but I should say their bookshelves are bringing in money. The staff is totally excited that they're starting to see people buy and take. We're going in, we're replenishing the books that we can sell. And it's a different atmosphere in there now. That's all I can say. Also, Petranco needed a Friends group. I have a new board member who said, I live in that area. I would like to be the president of the Friends group. And so I am having someone else in the Friends organization go and help them start setting up the meetings and getting them going. Some meetings may have to be by Zoom, but you know what? It's going to work, and I'm glad to see this is kicking off for us. I really, really am. We're going to, the other exciting part is that one Friends group and another Friends group have started meshing together, and they're sharing their ideas. And that was something I wanted to happen in 2025. Well, it came about in December, so I feel like, wow, that's a win-win, trust me. Anyway, it's been really good, and it's starting to build up a different type atmosphere, and that's something that's been needed for a long time. Our next meeting will be on Saturday, January 31st at 2 p.m., and it will be our annual meeting, and it's going to be at Central, and we're going to have two big reveals, and I'm not going to tell you what we're going to be revealing, but it's going to be exciting, and the members are getting really intrigued as to what it is. And then on March 15th, I believe the spring book sale is going to happen. And Jessica, that's still on Sunday.
Is that at Central?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have the times yet, but okay. But anyway, I hope you all can come out. Being on a Sunday, we're going to be using the first floor and the auditorium, so we're going to have more room to get more people in. That is going to be fantastic. And also on Sunday, March 22nd, that will be the next Friends Board meeting. So I hope you all can come out to those. And any questions?
Where is the March 22nd meeting going to be?
John Igo.
Thank you for all that you're doing, and I hope that you have more bags this time for the book sale than you did last time.
We have that covered.
That was a very successful first book sale, and I'm very excited about the next one. And maybe you'll prove Caesar wrong to be aware of the Ides of March, right, Liz? Okay, next we have a staff report for the Thousand Oaks Branch Library, which the branch manager is going to be introduced by Elma Nieto Rodriguez.
Good afternoon. I think the Friends' big surprise is that all the Friends presidents are going to rappel off that building. So I can't wait. Good afternoon. I have the privilege of introducing the branch manager, Mr. Nell Williams. Jernell has been with the library team since 2004. She started as a reference librarian. That's where we happened to meet. We worked in that department before it was called Information Services. Since 2004 up until now, her work and her service has taken her through 7 districts within the city. In 2021, she became the branch manager of the Thousand Oaks Branch Library. We benefit from her experience, her steadfastness, and her dedication. She's one of those employees that keeps us on the rails, and we truly appreciate that about her. With the branch manager report, Mr. Nell Williams.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elma. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Thousand Oaks Branch Library. Use my clicker. The Thousand Oaks Library opened in 1987 as the Thousand Oaks at El Sendero Branch Library. We are located in District 10 on the northeast side of San Antonio, and some of our outreach activities include a monthly book club at the Northeast Senior Center and annual participation in the District 10 Fiesta event. We are committed to serving the community through partnerships. The Friends of the San Antonio Library provide supplies and refreshments for our programs. Volunteer income tax assistance programs provide free tax preparation for our community. The Northeast Independent School District offers free summer lunches to children under the age of 18. Senior Planet provides technology programs for our older adults. The San Antonio Food Bank assists the community with applying for SNAP, CHIP, WIC, and Medicaid services. And the San Antonio Blood and Tissue Organization has donation sites at neighborhood libraries, including Thousand Oaks, to help save lives. The programming at our library is led by our librarians here at Thousand Oaks. Adult programming is led by Brooke and has included genealogy programs in partnership with the Texana Department and basic car care programs in partnership with mechanics in our community.
Cool.
Our children's programs are led by Cheryl, and it includes story time and kids craft times. She received a thank you note from one of her parents for her turkey hat Thanksgiving craft from a mom and her kiddos. And early literacy is also encouraged through book displays and patron engagement, as demonstrated by her fantastic summer reading display. We have a dedicated teen space and teen engagement board. The Teen Time programs are led by Kimberly and are held weekly on Monday evenings. Our many thanks from the Thousand Oaks staff for your support of the San Antonio Public Library. That concludes my presentation. Are there any questions?
Any questions?
I don't have a question. Okay. I don't have a question, but I have a comment. I love the variety of your adult programs because those are things that we constantly want to promote in the library. The library isn't just a place to get books or to read. It's real community engagement, and I love that. That's so creative.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you. Thank you to you and your staff for hosting us today as well. It's always nice to get out to Thousand Oaks. I don't get out on this side of town as much since I moved from Stone Oak, but it's lovely to be out here and just see the neighborhood and see the community. So thank you so much for hosting. Next is a staff report, fiscal year 2025 year-end performance report.
Hi, good evening. Randall Polashik. I am the library's data manager, so I'm happy to deliver our performance report. So part of your board packet is always included a performance report. It's 9 beautiful pages. It does highlight as a post check fiscal year to date of how we're doing with our targets that are set and also some trends. So tonight's presentation is really just looking back at a whole fiscal year, 2025. So as an overview, fiscal year 25 did start October 1st, 2024, and ended September 30th, 2025. So that's the time period we are looking at for tonight's report. Tonight, we'll just kind of highlight just how we performed at the year end, and then kind of go over how the targets are developed and what the purpose they serve. So when we talk about our key performance indicators, these are targets that are set the summer before the fiscal year. So this is back in the summer of 2024 when we look at historical data, we forecast some upcoming closures, and we just kind of create a target to where we think we're going to perform. So these targets really serve as just as a way to take our existing resources that we have as part of the budget process and then just estimate where we perform so that they're not really intended to be like stretch goals or something very like unachievable. And then at the end of the presentation was kind of summarized as like, how do we do? You know, here are targets and here's the actuals and put those side by side. So with some definitions, we have 3 key performance indicators that we do track very closely. The first one is circulation. So for this one, we're looking at our physical and digital collection. We're counting the number of checkouts that we have, the number of renewals that we have, and we're adding that together, and that is how we measure our circulation. The second is hours of technology. So for this one, we are counting the number of hours our public computers and our hours of Wi-Fi are used, and then add those together, and we're tracking that as just total technology use. And the last one is we're using our door counters to count our foot traffic into each of the library locations. So now for some charts. So the first one, we're going to be looking at just circulation. So this is a 5-year trend. So it's going back to 2021, and each column there is going to be a new fiscal year. And you'll notice that since 2021 has been an upward positive trend, increasing more in the number of items that our collections being used. This is great. So back in 2021, we recorded 5.7 million items in circulation. Fast forward to fiscal year 25, we did record almost or over 9.9 million total items in circulation. So same graphic, but now just using the data for library visits. So you notice it does not quite have the same exact trend of circulation for library visits because of overlapping election cycles that do vary from each fiscal year, whether if it's like a municipal or presidential or primary, all of that does vary from each year. So this is quite normal to have that cycle where you're not going to have continuous upward growth from each fiscal year. So going back to fiscal year 21, we did record 1.3 million total visits to libraries, and then fast forward that to fiscal year 25 at over 3 million total visits. And then for hours of technology, you kind of notice kind of similar patterns with visits. I'll just go back real quick. And if you look at the columns for visits and then back to hours, there is a correlation because, you know, in order to use technology, you do have to come to the library, right? So those patterns of data do look very similar. Now for hours of technology, going back to fiscal year 21, that was just over 1 million hours. And then in 2025, we did record over 2 million. So that's an increase there. All right. So in summary, when we're putting these side by side, for circulation, the target was 9.8 million items. So again, that's going back to summer 2024 and estimate where we think we're going to achieve. And that was an actual of 9.9. So 0.14 ahead of that target there. For visits, the target was 3,028,000, and we exceeded that with 3,048,000. So again, exceeded at a 0.65%. And hours of technology, this is a situation we may recall. These targets that were developed happened before a major technology change occurred with our Wi-Fi equipment and software that's used to count the hours. So originally, the target that was set before that change was 2.4 million hours, but at the end of the fiscal year, we counted 2 million. So that was behind the target of 16%. Numerical, very quantitative, a lot of charts and numbers, but we do know because of what we offer, it does fulfill the community needs, right? If you add up every single transaction, it's several million transactions, right? How many people are coming to the library? How many are you checking out items? How many are in program attendance? Those are all transactional things we can count, and we know that does mean so much. So again, circulation and library visits, those were met and exceeded. And then we did have the odd change for fiscal year 25 with technology that we've talked about. So I'm happy to answer any questions you may have about this presentation. Yes.
I won't ask you for the number, but just curious on the chart where it kind of shows the circulation is gradually, on the upward trend. So would you say that we've recovered to pre-pandemic numbers or have exceeded
For
that?
circulation, yes, most
Okay.
definitely. It's been exceeded. I think we achieved that in fiscal year 23, where we actually recognized more circulation that year than before the pandemic.
Right. Okay.
On visits and technology use, there's a little bit of a spike in 23. Do we have an explanation for that?
Yeah, that's going to be just whatever elections that occurred that year. I can get you the numbers.
Okay.
We do know that almost half of all votes in Bexar County happen at libraries. So it is several thousand visits that, we do track when it is, just depending on what election is occurring that year.
We need to be publicizing that.
Yes.
Are adjustments made to the macro numbers because the library is taken offline for upgrade?
Yes, so that's part of that. Every summer when we're looking at where we estimate, we look at planned closures, right? So at that time, whatever information we have available, like what projects are funded, and what do we expect to close that year? So yes, those adjustments are made to decrease because if we're closed, we know that there's going to be less visits at the location, less hours of technology. Of course, as closure dates may change, we're unable to go back and redo those targets. They're just set. So that's we just monitor that.
Yeah, because I realize the metrics are to compare one fiscal year to the other with a major library closed for most of the year, usage is down. And so the numbers are adjusted, or you just are able to speak to that?
Yeah, we speak to it, and we do note the actual closures as one page in the performance report where we're putting those dates. Just noting that, this location was closed at the start of the fiscal year and when they reopened.
Planned
numbers
closures are accounted for.
Gotcha.
When
Yes.
the number is set.
Yeah, because if for some reason Central got closed for a month, that would be devastating because there's such a high usage facility.
Correct.
Are there any other questions? Just tagging on to the question about the pre-pandemic numbers, I do think it would be helpful to understand, to go out like another 2 years in the view so we can understand the pre-pandemic impact. And that would also give a bit more context. For example, if you could pull up the technology use graph, I think it's easiest to see there. When you go from 1 million to almost double in 1 year, that looks like a big increase, but I think if we take into account pre-pandemic numbers, it's actually a little bit different of a story to tell. So I think that would be
Gotcha.
helpful if you could share that. And then I had previously asked a question during the director's report about branch visits. So in addition to that information.
Yes, and actually I was thinking about that question earlier. In the performance report, the last 3 pages do show measures by location. So there's those. What we can do, we can go back to the last time period, last fiscal year, and just put those side by side by location.
I think that would be helpful. I'm sure you have the data. What I would be interested in seeing is a month over month and a year over year for each of the locations. Because, for example, other than branches that I visit and tend to look at the numbers closely, I wouldn't know, for example, like how Brook Hollow's programming numbers compare with Bazan's,
Gotcha.
month over month. So that would be great.
We'll work on that for you.
Thank you. Thank you for the report.
You're welcome.
Okay, and I would like to acknowledge our Assistant City Manager, David McCary, who is here with us today. And David, thank you so much for your steadfast support and being here for us during the board meetings and also during other times when we need your assistance. So we really appreciate all your help and support. Thank you.
Thank you. And before we go to the next agenda item, number 18, we're going to address number 17, which is to amend the fiscal 26 holiday closure schedule to designate March 5th as a full day closure for staff in lieu of a half-day service on February 10th. So in your packet and also on the iPad electronic packet, there is a closure schedule. The first one looks like this. It has no colors on it. And then the second one, which is the one that we're going to discuss, is has a black and purple line in the middle. Thank you. Jessica's doing a much better job displaying this. I did have an opportunity to get briefed on this as part of the executive committee meeting. And so I'll just share that. I'll do a quick summary of the proposed changes, which is to take, when we approved in September the holiday closure schedule, we accounted for a partial staff closure day on February 10th. And the proposed change is to remove or delete that staff in service for February 10th and replace it with a full day staff development day on March 5th. It goes without saying that investment in our staff is one of the most important things we can do. It's one of our largest expenses if we look at it from a line item perspective in terms of staff. So I am personally a strong proponent of giving staff that time. But Jessica, if there's anything additional that you'd like to present, and then we can open for questions as well.
Absolutely, thank you. Jessica Zarita, Assistant to the Director, presenting on Agenda Item 17. As Board Chair Kaur noted, the change requested of the Library Board is to allow a full day closure on March 5th, 2026, in lieu of a half-day closure on February 10th, 2026. For background for new trustees, Staff Day is a day that the library system shuts down operations, and the entire library staff gather in one place to network, attend professional development activities, work on team building, and just an opportunity that is rarely available to get over 500 employees available in one location. So for your information, the last time we had a staff day was February 19th, 2024, and the time before that was October 10th, 2022. So this is not a yearly activity because of the investment that it takes to shut down the entire system, but also working with the convention center to rent out space. Because we're a city department, we work with them closely to have the space for free. However, there are other amenities that we have to pay for. And so we had allocated last year's annual gift from the Friends of the Library for this purpose. So a big thank you to the Friends for recognizing the importance of staff development and allowing us to use the funding for that capacity. Thank you. And so we have started planning in earnest, understanding that the board's action was needed for us to officially, but we have started preliminary planning. So once, if the board is acceptable with this proposal and approves it, you'll start hearing all about it. Scott and the team will make sure the communication goes out about the closure, the updated closure schedule will be shared out, and we'll undertake those activities. You will also receive invitations to attend Staff Day so that you can participate as your schedule allows, and we'll be here to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. And I'm sorry, did you want to add anything? Okay. I'm going to ask for a motion.
Could I have I wanted to ask you something, Jessica. I'm sorry, before you left. So, we're going to have that whole day, because I went to the last one that was all day. It was very, very nice. And to see all the staff and see them interacting with staff members that they worked with at different sites. So that is beautiful. I love that. So the other 2 days that their staff are going to have in-services is March all day, then May for 4 hours, and August for 4 hours.
In addition to the December 10th in-service
yeah.
that has taken place, so we will end up with the board's approval with 3 half-day in-service and 1 full-day staff day.
Okay.
Okay, and then just, I'm looking for a motion to accept this amended proposal.
Okay, I move that we accept the full-day staff day on March 1st.
Okay, thank you.
March
March 5th.
Excuse me.
March 5th.
March 5th, I'm sorry, March 5th.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second it.
Okay, so we have a first and a second, and just for clarification, it is to amend the holiday and closure schedule to designate March 5th as a full closure staff day in lieu of the half-day in-service that was previously scheduled for February 10th. Any questions or remarks?
I have a question. On March the 5th, we have, I know they're tentatively held, but a policy review committee meeting. So would we change that in the event that we need to meet for policy?
Absolutely. So as, once the board takes action, we will then mobilize to backtrack and look at any conflicts that may arise and start making those necessary amendments.
Great question, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
So I do want to share, because I know we planned a lot of things around spring break and making sure that we have branches open. And I don't know if y'all did this on purpose, but SAISD starts spring break on the 6th, so that I appreciate that you still kept that in mind as well when picking this day, knowing it was so close to break.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a roll call vote.
Carla Gargiulo,
Aye.
Joanne Harris,
Aye.
Josie Martinez,
Aye.
Andrea Sanchez Muniz,
Aye.
Mary Ann Valdez Hernandez is absent, Fernanda Cardenas,
Aye.
Michelle Dobles Robledo,
Aye.
Burke Quintanilla,
Aye.
Beth Graham,
Aye.
Judy Cruz,
Aye.
Jaspreet Kaur.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Next, we have agenda item number 18, which is to review and consider the temporary closure on March 17th to undertake a capital improvement project at Cortez Branch Library. And as promised, Mark is back to give us some info on this.
Good afternoon again. My name is Mark Loisel, I'm Project Control Manager. Here to discuss a closure that is planned at the Cortez Branch Library. We have a project there that is funded at $1,045,000. It includes interior repair or interior replacement of carpet. We're going to repaint the walls, restroom improvements, and other general building repairs. We're also going to be making some improvements to the exterior of the house, as you remember, of the building. As you remember, last month you approved exterior improvements to the building. Those are currently being priced out by our contractor, but we are expecting to be able to do some of those improvements during this closure as well, along with the interior improvements. So again, the carpet was last replaced at Cortez in 2008, and since we just replaced Maverick's carpet last year, this is the oldest carpet in the system other than Central. And so it's good to get that replaced. Last restroom upgrades were done in 2009. We have reviewed those for ADA accessibility, and they meet current standards, so we just got to get in there and replace everything. Interior painting was last done in 2014, so that'll be nice to refresh that, and then refresh the finishes and textures. So we took this to the Facilities Committee on January 8th, and they recommended that it come to the board for your consideration, and we're considering the closure date of March 17th to begin the renovation work. And then we will be open by May 18th, prior to the May 18th start of the voting.
Okay, thank you. I'll first ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the closure date of March 17th, 2026, as recommended by the Facilities Committee for the Cortez Branch Library renovation project.
Okay, but first from Andrea.
Second.
And a second from Beth. Any questions or comments?
Just since Andrea's on this committee, I'm sure she already cleared the whole spring break thing. Okay, just wanted to make
That's
sure.
the,
And the branch was the one who brought it to their attention.
Okay, because March 17th is.
it's a Tuesday, and because spring break goes through Monday, so we're going to close on Tuesday then in that way, help some, yes.
Yeah, I think that's a great move. And Cortez, Andrea, I'm sure you're very as excited as I am that they're getting new carpet. That carpet has a lot of little feet that travel on it, especially on closure days. That branch is like such a great example. We have many branches like this, but that one is an example of like school's out and all the kids are inside the library. So I think it's a very exciting and wise to adjust for the dates accordingly. So Jessica, I'll ask you to lead us in a roll call vote.
Carla Gargiello.
Aye.
Joanne Harris.
Aye.
Josie Martinez.
Aye.
Andrea Sanchez Muniz.
Aye.
Mary Ann Valdez Hernandez is absent. Fernanda Cardenas.
Aye.
Michelle Douglas Robedo.
Aye.
Burr Quintanilla.
Aye.
Beth Graham.
Aye.
Judy Cruz.
Aye.
Jaspreet Kaur.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. And then the final item on the agenda is to review and consider the library board's 2026 work plan and take appropriate action. The work plan is also included in your packet, probably at the very back of your packet, 2 white pieces of paper. And you'll see here for reference a copy of the 2025 work plan. So we had some big things on the work plan in 2024 and 2025 with the departure of our previous director and the search for a new director. I will say personally, I was very proud to look back at the work plan and see like item number 4, appointment of new library director was completed early in 2025. In light of the current state of the budget and understanding the bond conditions, what's happening with the city, I think it's really important that we consider the upcoming bond cycle and start to mobilize there, and then also continue with our efforts to right size and collaborate with the county to ensure that the ILA is working for patrons and for both the city and the county. So I'll give you all a moment to review the work plan in case you did not see it in your email previously, and then we can have some discussion about potential changes to the work plan or entertain a motion for acceptance of the work plan. Any questions or anyone ready to make a motion for approval?
Madam Chair, could we consider in some way placing emphasis on support for the right to read and the public's right to information? I think that could be a really important issue in the coming years.
I think that's fantastic, and I think that probably would fall closely into our strategic plan as well.
Yes.
So perhaps we could add it to that section. And I think I think freedom to read is the terminology we've used in the past. So is that okay, Beth, if I
Perfect. Yes.
wordsmith slightly to that?
For the budget development, I know in the old one, we had kind of, not a vague timeline, but early in 2025. Do we need to put something like that in the new one, or just keep it calendar year 2026? Do we need to set kind of like a time frame of when we're going to start this?
Yeah, I may ask Gabby for a little support here, but my understanding is that for FY 2027, in early summer, we'll start to have, the city will automatically, budget preparation starts. So I think the city determines that process, but maybe you could speak to that.
Yeah, so budget will start sending out, timelines and deadlines and stuff. I believe in the past we've come February, March, usually to the board, to sort of get direction on, programs and, or, areas of focus for the next budget development. I know we are undergoing the comprehensive budget review as well. So hopefully soon we'll have, some updates maybe that we can share of that process, which will feed into the budget process for 27. So we should start seeing some stuff coming out fairly soon.
Okay.
But we don't have to outline kind of when we're starting it in our strategic plan, just say.
In the work plan. I don't think so. And
Work plan, sorry.
we don't have an attorney here. So I'm going to make the assumption that because the city has its own timeline, Andrea, we're going to be following that anyway. Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
In regards to the interlocal agreement renewal, it says to coordinate negotiations on a new multi-year. Do we have a timeline for that? Have we reached out already to start setting up meetings with the county?
Yes. Mr. McCary and Director Goswami are already in the process of liaising with county staff to work on plans to get a timeline together for the next milestone. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. So I'm new to this, and I just looked up Right to Read. Great program. Is there some sort of coordination with the school districts for the Right to Read? Exactly what's our goal as the library? I realize readership. I get that.
Yeah.
But so that we're not duplicating efforts, do we coordinate with the school districts as to what they're doing?
Individual branches and central staff do coordinate with school districts and a number of other programs as well. So there's a lot of outreach program that's done. But for the work plan, which is more closely related to the library board of trustees work, I think what we'll want to do is have some language about supporting it, and then ensuring, so that helps staff to understand that it's important and we view it as part of our strategic overall vision, but they'll prioritize individual, local decision making, right? So if there's an opportunity coming up, they'll coordinate that. That's more of an operational thing. Does that help?
Yeah, well, and of course I'll learn more about this as
Yeah.
I go, but prima facie, yes, thank you, I understand.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Next step is to take action.
Did someone make the motion? Or
No.
Okay, well, I'll move. So I'll move to approve the Library Board's 2026 work plan with the addition of the freedom to read initiative also listed on there.
Thank you, Judy.
Second. Was that Carla?
Okay, thank you, Carla. So we have a first and a second, and Jessica, if you could read us in a roll call vote, please.
Carla Gurgiello,
Aye.
Joanne Harris,
Aye.
Josie Martinez,
Aye.
Andrea Sanchez Muniz,
Aye.
Mary Ann Valdez Hernandez is absent, Fernanda Cardenas,
Aye.
Michelle Dobles Robedo,
Aye.
Bert Quintanilla,
Aye.
Beth Graham,
Aye.
Judy Cruz,
Aye.
Jaspreet Kaur.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. That's our last agenda item, and I'll entertain a motion for dismissal.
I move we adjourn.
I
Thank
second.
you. Thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you all for your time.